All right, so we're closing up Mobile Disrupt 2024, at least at the exhibit hall level. We've got some exciting receptions and stuff going on, but we are still doing some of our mobile icon interviews, and we're so excited to have Chris Adam from Diamond Assets joining us. Chris, Diamond Assets has been a huge supporter of Mobile Disrupt, and obviously has had some pretty major impact in the mobility space, and we're just thank you so much for taking some of your time. I know it's a very busy conference for you guys, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into the mobile space, and what Diamond Assets does in particular as it pertains to mobility in the mobile space, and just kind of what your role is, in keeping the industry moving and growing.
Sure. Yeah, I actually have about 25 years of experience in the reverse logistics space.
Okay.
Quite diverse in that experience. Anything from kind of the data center world all the way through distributed assets, consumer devices, and have kind of worked for large organizations and smaller organizations and helping them support growth initiatives. And I found myself in the mobility space after a different initiative that we wrapped up. We're meeting Diamond Assets and their leadership team and some of their growth objectives, and being able to apply a lot of my reverse logistics expertise to their business model. So I've been in the reverse logistics space for 25 years, but specifically in the mobility space for about 2 years.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that has been very clear, I think, in this year's conference and the conversations that are happening is that the mobile space and the industry is kind of on the precipice of some pretty major changes and sort of innovation, and with AI and things like that sort of hanging over everybody's head. And so, one of the things we're really interested in is, as an organization, when you guys look at the future of mobility and to some extent reverse logistics, I mean, the two are not exclusive. When you look at the future of the industry, what is it that Diamond Assets is doing to ensure that, you maintain that status as kind of an industry leader and being, on the cutting edge of providing those services?
Yeah, no, and Diamond Assets has earned such a reputation for quality, right? Both on the front side of delivering their solutions to their customers who are in the education, in the enterprise space, but also on the back side of that solution, which is essentially the result of how we process devices, right? And so how do we get those back into an ecosystem to support circular economies, right? And so the quality of that product, the accuracy of its quality, the packaging, all the user experience is something that certainly Diamond Assets has been known for a long time, and what attracted me to Diamond Assets. And so as we look at, how can we continue to do that better, introducing better ways of handling devices through automation, through better routing systems and tools, and even by applying some AI in terms of how we do those things.
Right.
And I think what ultimately that allows us to do is to continue to deliver a solution set that is consistent in its results. And I think that's a huge thing that I see in this industry is a lot of variability.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if we talk about grading, like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's subjective, right? So define that up front and deploy a process that allows you to be able to have a consistent result.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to invest in the business so that we can continue to push the envelope on what does quality really look like.
Right. And, I think one of the other things that, and you talked about how Diamond Assets and has really created this reputation for themselves as being leaders in thought, pushing to the thought leadership envelope. And, we were lucky enough to have Diamond speaking on the Women in Wireless panel, and she's really championing that cause both here, and she's also on the panel at the ITAD Summit in July.
Yeah.
And, just, listening to you talk and listening to her talk, it's just so clear why you guys are in the position you're in. It's so important to bring that quality aspect and that sort of holistic approach to helping your customers. So, we're here at the Mobile Disrupt show, and you guys were sponsors. You did the headshot booth for us, and we obviously appreciate all of that. But you don't do it because out of the goodness of your heart. What is it about Mobile Disrupt that you love, and why is it that you guys have chosen to invest in this particular show?
Yeah, no, Mobile Disrupt it's a great conference. We have been coming for the last 3 years since its early days.
Yeah.
And we just continue to see it grow every year.
Yeah.
And we see the participation, the quality of the exhibitors, the panel speakers, the speaking sessions. I spent a lot of time in those speaking sessions these last 2 days and learned an incredible amount. So we want to continue to support that. We also have a great opportunity to see many of our partners here, and identify new partners that we can, continue to build with to meet the goals that we have for our customers. So we'll continue to be here and continue to look forward to seeing Mobile Disrupt grow year over year.
Yeah, well, and we're excited to hear that, obviously. But to your point about growing, I mean, we nearly doubled the exhibitor hall, and broke 1,000 for the first time in registration. So, but it's because of organizations like yours that have committed to sharing the wisdom, and I think that's, as we talk about mobile icons, right, which is the series we're putting on. That's what really makes Diamond Assets, an organization that had to be part of this, sort of first shot at this icon series. So, the final question that we love to ask of the folks that we have in the series is about bringing the next generation forward, right? And as the industry changes, it's not only the devices and the processes, but it's the people, right? Sure. And so, what advice would you have, or what knowledge would you share with somebody who, either because of a career change, like yourself, coming from reverse logistics into mobility, or because they're kind of fresh into the workspace or workforce, what advice would you have for somebody coming into mobility in order to be successful?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I would say to my younger self, just really get involved, right? Really dive into the subject matter. Don't just focus in on, maybe you have a particular task or a particular segment that you're handling for your employer, right? Really learn the business, learn the industry, reach out, network. I think that's just always a good thing for any young person to do as they're launching a career. But certainly this is such a dynamic industry that we're in. And we are at the beginnings of such a continued evolution, to just really wrap your hands around the industry and the knowledge to be the best that you can be.
And going back to Diamond's panel yesterday, one of the things that I really found striking in that, right, was the amount of support. It was the Women in Wireless, but the amount of support that it seems like everybody in this mobility space feels from their competitors and their peers and their customers and partners. It seems like as this industry has matured, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like as this industry has matured, instead of walls being built and the sort of secret sauce being protected, there's a lot of sharing and support that doesn't really exist in a lot of other industries.
I would agree, and I think that's a sign of maturity.
Yeah,
right. It's a sign of maturity of the industry, but also the players within that industry. And I think in those panels, we heard a lot of talk about, don't put your blinders on. Don't put those walls up with, your competition, your competitors. Sure, you can compete, but you could also cooperate with each other, and you could be partners and support each other and help grow, right? So always be open-minded when you're looking at other people in the industry and how you can use each other to gain success.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I know this is like a busy time, and of course we're here in Las Vegas, so there's always activities going on. So I really appreciate you taking some of your time to come and sit with me and have this conversation. As I've said now multiple times, it is so clear to everybody that interacts with you guys as an organization that you have a big impact on the way this industry is developed, and so it was a very easy decision to bring you in. So
great.
Thanks for having
us here.
Thanks for having us here. Absolutely.